Goes, as a manufacturer, that's all we talk about today. Everybody wants to come in. Can you figure a new way to cut the lettuce? Can you figure a new way to cut the broccoli? Can you figure a better way to cut the celery? And all this is being worked on. About 8 years ago, we actually deployed a traceability system with scanning every bag of romaine hearts. And we're able to take that technology and actually drill it down to the person who actually packed the bag onto the machine. We're kind of ahead of the innovation. The grower, what did he look at? He looked at a marketing tool. He saw the opportunity that now he can market this with his brand and his label. And since that's grown so much, where today you walk into a grocery store and you'll see a little like you see a bread tag, it's made by a company called Quick Lock, and you'll see you'll see the barcode. You'll see all that information right there. You'll be able to scan it on your phone, just like what John was saying. And some of those growers are getting advanced to the part where they can scan it and you can say, wow, that was grown by Foxy Produce right here in the Salinas Valley. And guess what? They'll cross-market that with a company that has a recipe for their salad mix or whatever. So all this stuff can get integrated for the consumer. For my company, I'll be honest with you, we're a worldwide company. We see the emerging middle class. And in John's slide earlier, he was showing the middle class in Europe. And right now, we have our clients in Europe asking for the technology because the middle class in Europe is growing. They want the value-added produce that we have here in the Salinas Valley. They like what has been done here in the past. They like to be able to now go to a grocery store and get a selection of a mix of salad dressings. And that is where this starts, right here in the Salinas Valley. And where's it going to go? It's just going to grow further and further and further. Is what we see. Are there any questions from the group here?
You mentioned for the students here that you wanted to hire them with knowledge of science and you want that combined with practical ed?
That would be perfect. Because people or young children that understand agriculture has a better and faster grasp of what the grower is asking for. And growing up in agriculture, you're already 3 steps ahead of someone else that doesn't have that background.
Are there emerging careers, pathways that you've identified, jobs that incorporate knowledge of agricultural technology?
The question is trying to merge the immediate need and past need? Emerging careers coming out of the universities or
out of the integration of agricultural technology with trying to imagine a career ladder where a young person comes out of start and
Probably the main one would be food safety to come off the top, because that as we get more testing for E. coli and everything, food safety is a big. Even Cal Poly has identified it as a new course for food safety, and that's the kind where all this technology comes in, because they track that lettuce from the field all the way to the store in New York. Okay. But then they also have to meet certain parameters in that food safety for water, ground, fertilizer, and everything right down the line. It doesn't matter if you're growing grapes or you're growing lettuce. That's going to be a big thing in the next, right now, in the next 10 years. And all these growers some of them have part-time staff, some have full-time staff just on food safety. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger. I mean, 30 years ago when I farmed, there was no food safety. If it passed the state inspector, it was sold. Now they check the water, they check everything. And the leafy green program.
Yeah, I think the barriers that we're starting to see as we apply more and more technology to agriculture is people are familiar not only with agriculture, as Frank was saying, but with interfacing with computers. Talk a lot about automation and mechanization. There's a very important hardware metal component, but all of that is driven by computers. And people need to be in the field to operate that equipment, be comfortable interfacing with computers or even mobile devices. Like you're starting to see iPads everywhere. You'll see them in every tractor, I think, in every piece of equipment out in the field here pretty soon. You need people that can operate that really well. You need people out there in the field who can repair that kind of thing, who know how to get behind how all that works and get it back up and running. And then we'll need people to design it as well. You can't just buy a computer that all of a sudden knows how to thin lettuce or harvest anything. People need to design it, and I think that will happen right here because there's no better place to develop it than the person who can go inside, write a new program on a computer, and go right out in their backyard and test it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen up in San Francisco. It's not going to happen in Chicago. It's going to happen here just because we can test it. So you can imagine a career where someone starts out operating the equipment in the field, moves on to fixing it, and then moves on and takes all that expertise to designing the next generation.
And I think going on that, as far as new career paths going, I think a lot of original career paths like engineering or even software engineering. I mean, who would have thought? Computers have only been around for 30 whatever years, Now with a tractor, there's more computing power in our current model John Deere tractor than there is in the first space shuttle. And so you can see where this technology has driven us. And just to give a quick example, to give a specific example to your question, when I went to university, I went into the geography department. Of course, that's every parent's dread when your kid's majoring in geography. They all what's he going to do in this life, sort of thing. And as I went through, I majored in the actual degree was called geospatial intelligence. Now that's taking mapping information and using it for an actual purpose. And then I went on from there to graduate school to do a combined degree with geospatial intelligence and aerospace engineering. And so I had a background in using the unmanned aircraft or the drones to be able to monitor to crop fields. Now we're just waiting for the FAA to give approval for us to use it. But you can see where these kind of career fields like software engineering or any other kind of engineering, or even things like geography now, mapping technology, are being applied to agriculture. And there's specific programs that are now popping up in universities that are agricultural based, which was mine. That's exactly what mine was. It was aerospace engineering or mechanical engineering based specifically for agriculture out of the Midwest. So I think those are some of the things we're seeing.
Maybe if I could sum it up, you don't have to go out and get a degree in engineering. There's other technology positions that will be available. And as this technology comes to the farm, the farmer, the growers, will need technicians to go out in the field and properly run these pieces of equipment. But not only the technicians, but they're going to need the training to operate the machinery as well. So it'll be a total collaboration between the manufacturer, the distributor, the servicing companies, all working together to bring the product to fruition, bring it into the field, and from there the growers' adaptation to the product will be very important. Either they take it themselves or they have a service company that will come in and do it for them. So the choices are there for you to use the tools, and the tools are only going to get better what we see in the future in agriculture. Any more questions from the group? How about from the panelists? Is there any panelists? Well, I want to thank everybody for coming today, and thank all of us. We all thank you for the opportunity, and we all invite you to come by and see our displays today and talk with us individually as well. Cool. There's Steve.
All right, let's give Frank and the entire panel a round of applause. We're going to send them home with some flowers. Everybody gets some flowers today. Here you go. Plant something beautiful. These actually are an Opera Supreme variety of petunia that were donated by American Talkie in North Salinas. This is a wave type that low to the ground, smaller blooms, very drought tolerant, you're in luck. We've got time for a little bit of a break, so you can get some coffee. And just a reminder, there is a passport for all of the vendors, so we just encourage you to make the rounds, meet the different vendors, check things out, and then be sure to turn that back into registration as you'll be entered to win a flat screen. The other thing I would say is just a quick thank you to Ramsay Highlander as one of our sponsors, Hudson, Martin, Whitten, June as well, and the City of Gonzales. We're honored to have our Mayor Pro Tem from the City of Gonzales here. So please, you've got about maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And maybe actually, now's a good time while I've got Susan here, just very quickly, because we have a nice audience. Susan's newer to Hartnell College as the Dean of, Director. The Dean, please tell us a little bit about being Director of the Ag Business and Technology Institute.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Susan Pheasant, and as Steve said, I'm the new director for the Ag Business Technology Institute at Hartnell College. I have a dean. He's my boss. And so I started a month ago. I've moved down from Washington State. My family's involved in the tree fruit industry up there. I've been involved in agriculture all of my life. Slave labor in the family garden on up through the orchard, and marketing and packing and doing a little bit of everything except for applying pesticides. I have my own consulting business. So I work with agribusinesses. Most recently, that's been in the area of food safety. So I help growers get ready for their audits, and I also do audits, third-party independent audits. I serve on the United Fresh Harmonization team, both in terms of the technical working group, helping to develop the standards, both pre-harvest and post-harvest. And then I'm on the calibration committee, so if there's any issues that come up during an audit, they work with this smaller calibration committee, and we are able to turn answers around real quickly. And if it's a real mind boggler, then we take it back to the entire technical working group. And we had one of those meetings just 2 weeks ago, and we had some thinkers for them. So as part of Hartnell, I serve as the director. My job is to work with FFA, with the high school students, with industry, and help develop programs within the college, both supporting the existing programs and any new programs that are needed by the industry. And go from there.
Right from the get-go, Hartnell College said they were all over this. So many agricultural regions have a summit or an event like this, and this is just the first. We'll do it again. 26th of March, 2015. We want to make it bigger and better. Salinas can and will lead the way. Hartnell College will be there. The host here today is Converted Organics. If you have never heard of them, they basically take fish and corn and recycled food from, say, Red Lobster and Salinas or the Greenfield High School cafeteria. They put it through an aerobic digestion. And then on the other end comes organic fertilizer, liquid organic fertilizer. There's a unique trial going on out there, and I suggest you grill one of Susan's students, Armando. He's an intern at Converted Organics, and find out why the 222 is doing better than the GP. Just ask him that. He'll be ready to talk about it. Or ask him about his pest pressure if you're a PCA in the room. Students are the future, and for the PCAs, if you haven't registered yet, just at the front, be sure to check in and make sure you get credit for your hours. So once again, thank you guys. And please take some time to visit with the many vendors. And I just want to thank everybody for being part of this great panel. All right, thank you.